Okay, nice. This is going to be tr1sklion's PB. Let's take a look.
Okay, that was an early bet. Not an early bet. That was a late pause. I don't do that whole whole left thing. I find it throws off my rhythm. Although
it throws off my rhythm too.
For a lot more drama at the end there.
Yeah, even though I think it's objectively better, I just don't like doing it. Okay, doing the K-Max setup here. Very nice. I still haven't learned that. I still do old school stuff. My level 1 is flawless. Okay. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. Okay, I actually have some feedback here. The first thing to keep in mind for what I'm going to show you here is how many frames did you lose at the beginning, you know? And I think that this is going to be very easy to consistently do because the K-Max setup should lose about the same number of frames every single time. So fast forward down here, you can see my cursor. So look where you jump here. I feel like you jump very... You jump like right here. I think so. I use this this line on the side of the column as a reference point, and player. Guys, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Yumashev. Yumashev, welcome to the Resistance. We need all the help we can get. Thank you, gosh, that's very generous of you. All right, Trisk. So here's the wisdom on these 3 zombies. So use this as a reference point. The rule of thumb is if you lose fewer frames at the beginning, you need to jump deeper into this. If you lose more frames at the beginning, you need to jump earlier into this. And this is assuming that the stopwatch is going to be frame based, which it is, and but the zombie's position is not frame based. It's when you render them, right? So if you're here later, then you need to jump earlier and kill them earlier to get the right frame. If you arrive early, you need to jump and kill them later to get the right frame. So I'd say baseline, I would start jumping here and killing them, doing the whip when this first zombie is very close, and that will and then kind of adjust it, you know, play with it, going a couple of pixels early, a couple of pixels later, and then find the sweet spot for whatever the K-Max setup is. Okay. Yeah, and then I think you know this, but you should be jumping a little bit later here so that you kill this zombie. So I think if you just start this sequence over here a little bit earlier at this line rather than right here, which is about 2/3 of the way into that block, then everything should fall into place for you. Hey, Great Bearded Gamer, welcome in. Yeah, I forgot you had the +7 seconds on your PB in level 1.
What are you doing here?
Yo, Retro Dismiss, welcome in. We're reviewing tr1sklion's PB. I get it. Let's get out of 1. I really think that starting that sequence later is really going to help clean that up. I think it'll naturally clean it up because you're like jump whip, jump whip, jump whip. No, this is I have a channel point. Hey, what's up, KCR? I have a channel point reward for review your Castlevania PB, and I'll give you feedback based on that stuff. I think clunky is the right thing to do. I don't think anybody should be not clunky unless you want to push world records. Hey, Reverse, welcome in. Happy Halloween. All right, doing a poverty backup. Okay, good recovery.
Okay, I'm taking it anyway. I have the list.
You cheated on me, and I specifically asked you not to. Hey, Yeoman, welcome in. Hey, Dismas, thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate you, buddy. Happy Halloween. Hope you had a good stream. Nice, good jump onto the stairs. Save a couple frames. All right, good stuff there. I bet you lose this frame roll. Yeah. Okay. You probably know why you lost this frame roll. You're doing this right. You're going to jump very late here. Where I like to jump is when my front toe is barely off this platform. And then all of my jumps after that are going to be very tight. I don't spend any time on the ground. Okay, so you actually jump in the right spot, but you take a couple steps on the ground before you jump there. And here's why you lose the frame rule. You're already at the door, but the stage doesn't end until your feet are on the ground. So you're basically spending all this time brushing up against the door. Oh, I don't know, Dismas. I wouldn't put too much emphasis on this on the in-game timer, especially in levels where you have the stopwatch, because he could have just stopped the stopwatch because the in-game timer doesn't roll when you stop the stopwatch. So he could have just stopped the stopwatch at a different time than other people do in the screen before this. All right, so there's a quarter of a second you can pick up right there. Oh, I bet that's what it is, Trisk. All right, you already know how I feel about this screen, so we don't need to go into it again. What buffer? Good stuff. It's not really a lotto because you don't have to pay anything. So it's the candle. It's the free roll.
It's gonna be the sub 15 night.
Trisk is very good. 6th in the world.
Oh, whoa! I did not.
Oh, dating, nice. Nice, that was good. The curious thing is the triple shot. So was that the bag, or was that a heart? I guess we'll see. Oh, okay. There's a quarter of a second right there. You may not know this. Don't be whipping when you get the orb. The stage ends when 3 things are true. Simon has the orb, Simon's feet are on the ground, and Simon is not attacking. So if you're randomly doing whips when the orb hits you, you have to actually wait until that entire whip animation finishes before it starts the end of the level procedure. So don't whip. And it actually, especially now that we're playing on Famicom, don't even be dumping a lot of... Don't even be dumping hearts, really, right? Because a holy water toss at the worst is probably like 21 frames. And at the best is 1 frame. Whereas the US version is 8 frames per heart. And I think the Famicom version is probably much faster than that. That's why you always duck dice. Okay, nice.
If I can make that prediction true, it's require a lot of scroll glitching.
Oh, that's right, because you're sentimental about this ROM that you've had since like the 60s. I remember this now. There was the bunny bag. Did you see that? So I bet you're on Rosary now. Okay, I think on this screen your whips could have been tighter. And it was only 2 places. It was the very first whip. It's like your whip cancel on the way down. I think they could have been a little bit tighter. That's a very small thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you being sentimental about your card. I think that's cute. And not cute in like an condescending way. Bam, there it is. There's the rosary. So it turns out that oh, okay. Here's a little bit of a tip for you. If you throw this cross, yeah, it definitely does miss. If you throw this cross without losing frames, and you get the rosary or the potion, these two birds over to the right are always going to give you the high patterns. Maybe I should do it like this because that makes more sense from your reference. Maybe I should flip my camera around. You know, they're always going to give you the high patterns. So you don't need to waste frames doing that like low to the ground cross. You can actually just do whip jumps. So right there, those losing frames are going to manipulate these birds' patterns to give you the low patterns. If you don't lose frames, they're always going to give you the high patterns. So what you'll want to do is I jump here when my toe's just over the block. I do jump and then do a jump whip on the way down. And then when Simon gets to this blue pillar, about halfway through the blue pillar, I just do a quick jump up and whip. You know, I just roll my thumb across A and B.
Pay attention to the item table. I thought I was.
Yeah, I think if you're on anything besides not losing any frames, then what you did in this is the absolute best thing to do. Just throw that cross close to the ground, and you know basically you're going to eat a frame rule, which is fine, but you're going to protect your run, right? But if you're on 0 frames lost on the screen, then you can actually make the frame rule no problem. Even without the potion, the rosary is going to be just fine for the frame rule. So after you whip those two birds, you're going to jump over the first fireball, do a wall landing whip on the second fireball, and then you're going to jump over the statue and you're going to make the frame rule. The fastest frame rule.
Potion. I seemed to move it 2 times and didn't notice.
All right, doing Ouija Wii. Have you played around with learning the God Bridge? It's not that hard. It's definitely harder than Ouija Wii, but it's not that hard.
Look very bad. Actually, is going to be very nice here. I think I'm going to save like 4 seconds here. Nope. Oh no, we got it. Thought I went a little too late.
Yeah,
You got some good rest.
I don't know.
Very cool.
I think you have to do like 3 Tyson cookies to make it worth it. So that's tough. So 3 double frame perfects versus machine gun, which machine gun's basically free.
Almost panicked and did a pause buffer there. That was good. I didn't.
You could jump a little bit early there. A little bit earlier. And it's surprising how much time. So right. Whoa. What is this doing? Bro. VLC, what's your malfunction, dude? No. Okay. Okay, we're still good.
Almost panicked and did a pause buffer.
You could jump a little bit earlier there. Right there, you can jump. Maybe like a couple of pixels closer. Basically, what I'm looking for here, and I think you're using the same one. But you want to get your face right in front of this candle and then jump. And I don't know why, but it saves a ton of time if you do this. So I think you jumped about halfway through the candle. You might have like 0.1 or 0.2 on the table there. That's pretty free. You could cut the. I think you should cut the long whip. Honestly, I think that's 0.75 on the table that you could just easily cut. It's more than it's like 0.8, I think, but 48 frames, whatever that turns out to be. But I think you can cut it. It's not that hard to just do short whip straps. I'd cut it. I'm gonna be the biggest advocate for long whip during races, but for PB attempts, short whip's the way to go. PB still a 3-cycle? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean your time's starting to get to the point now where it's gonna be kind of 2-cycle or bust. And short whip doesn't, the only time that long whip matters is for a 3-cycle. Because if you don't time your position to spawn the 3rd cycle of Dracula correctly, you're gonna end up with a 4-cycle. And you're starting to get into the neighborhood where you're gonna start needing 2 cycles. Probably. I'd go ahead and start making the transition, because there's gonna be some growing pains. Nice. I've started doing that setup with my long whips too. It's just better. It's so much safer. Nice. Beautiful Fleaman Alley. Perfect. There's going to be some growing pains with the short whip, so I'd recommend doing it now so that, you know, you just learn faster. Or you'll be to a great place with a short whip earlier in your life, I guess. Nice crit.
Okay.
You could probably be a tiny bit faster on your ritual right there at the end of the screen. That's something that I put a lot of effort into when I came back to the game last year, is I focused on what those end of level rituals would be so that I could grab the orb as early as possible. Alright, level 5, let's go. So you're saying there's a chance?
We're on PB pace. Should not have done that. Come on.
Skip that meat.
I didn't think that was going to work there. It seemed off. No, 2 frames. Yes. Okay, here we go.
Deep breaths. I think here, you can do this in such a way to where you'll get both of the hearts. I know, it's so hype, Trisk. It's so hype. So I believe you can hit this candle as you jump over this guy. If not, you should jump and hit this candle right away. And then when you get to here, throw your holy water in a skeleton. That way, when the candle drops a heart, you'll be able to pick it up. See, you're just a little bit late there. I felt like you jumped about right here. I think if you back this jump up to like right here, you'll get this heart. You made this already. You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to discern like at this, you know, from watching this what your normal is but I know that heart economy is really important when you're incorporating scroll glitches. So you can definitely get this guy. No problems. Hey, Agent Wyvern, welcome in. Uh-oh. We need some hearts. Yeah, don't blame me. Don't blame me going for the 6 hard. Not even jumping up. Trisk, you did it again. You did it again. Were you panicking on chat that time too? I see you. I see you whipping. Hey, Agamemnon.
Okay.
Yeah, we caught him. He tried to make me think earlier that he never whips. He never whips on the orb. It was just that one time. It was a mistake. Sorry about it. Yep, not much to say there. Good boost. If I'm you here, I'm going to play real conservative. Ooh, still skipping that activation. That's good. Oh, thanks, Grom. So it's not, you know, like in the context of this, you just want to make sure you get it. But I definitely recommend, like, you got a good jump here. As soon as you land, you don't need to turn around. Just stand there and wait, and the heart's gonna drop on you. You'll lose it's surprising how much time you lose turning around and then turning back. Yeah, I think Tyson Cookie's good. It's hard, and it's hard to actually save time with it. A little bit early on the whip, it looks like. So even like there's even a little bit of time to save here. I think the backup 3 cycle off of the 2 cycle setup is about half a second slower than the normal 3 cycle. So, you know, for example, if you get the fast pattern and you want to just go for a 3 cycle crit there, you might save like half a second. Okay, same thing as I told Theogotch here. Don't just stand there and wait for him to land. Get him with another whip in the air. When he jumps at you, right there, you can do another jump and hit him in the head, and then do your holy water as you're landing. That actually saves like half a second. It saves a ton of time.
No, come on.
Cookie Monster, when you're on PB pace, it's so hard to be perfect. Nice. Yeah, and there was like there's even like 3 whip strikes right there. So that's like a second, you know? So this could be 11:23.
Wow.
Plus,
For calling that PB on level 2 when I had
and of course, no, you're good. And of course, you're plus 7 seconds leaving level 1. So I think with the jailbreak and hitting both of those tricks in level 8, you're gonna be in the teens in no time. But I hope this was helpful. So, sorry for talking a little trash at you. It was all in good fun. Thank you, Grom, for redeeming my Castlevania PB for